My name's Jane Rintoul. I'm a trustee for Buckby Library Hub, and I'm also part of the management team and do other voluntary stuff as well. I lead on governance related stuff such as the charity registration, and if there's a report to be written or a business plan, then generally I do that too. I volunteer doing library shifts, and I'm also the barmaid for evening events. I've been involved since the first public meeting when the library was threatened with closure altogether, but I was already volunteering at my son's school in the library, half anticipating that this might happen because there were lots of libraries closing down. So I went along to that public meeting and I put my name down as a resource if people needed any help with either campaigning or whatever needed doing. Well, I think it's definitely helped me keep my brain active. It gives me a real sense of purpose. I feel like I'm doing something useful for the community. It's definitely helped embed me in the community. I moved to this area 10 years ago, and although I had grown up relatively locally, I didn't know people in Long Buckby, but I certainly do now. So I've made lots of friends and many, many more acquaintances. So I definitely feel part of the community here. Well, I've learned a lot about library management, so that's developed some IT skills on the library management side and some technical skills, but also I've taken the lead on food safety issues here, on safeguarding, all sorts of things that I didn't know much about before and been useful to me in other spheres. So I do foster care as well since I've retired, and some of those things have been very useful for that. I think two things have struck me rather than surprised me. One is that in a community, it seems to be the same people who are volunteering to do all sorts of things, and we really need to sort of broaden the base of people who give a little bit of their time to help keep organisations like ours running. And the other thing is that even though we're a relatively small charity, we have to meet a lot of legal and professional standards. So we have to behave and work in quite a professional manner. So that's been very striking too. And to all intents and purposes, we've got more than 50 volunteers. We're a medium-sized enterprise. I think there's so many different opportunities. There's obviously working in the library itself, but we do an awful lot behind the scenes, whether it's meetings or various compliance and reporting requirements, including to the parish council who pay our rent here, to helping organise events, actually staffing events, and fundraising. There's a huge range of different activities. We also run the local village newsletter, so anybody who's interested in writing or editorial work, there's something really for everybody to do, even in a relatively small organisation like ours.
I'm Richard, as you can see. I'm one of the volunteers who helps out on a day-to-day basis. I come in twice a week, do shifts on Tuesday morning and Friday mornings, and I've been doing it longer than many volunteers. I started, I think, before the library closed for COVID, so I've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years, I guess. That makes me an old hand. I think it's a long time ago, but I think I probably saw adverts or handouts or probably something in the library, because I've always been a regular library user. At the time when the council were cutting back and the library was going to be turned over to volunteers only. So they were crying out for volunteers. As I said, I've always liked libraries, so I put my name forward. Oh yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy books and libraries, always have done since I was a teenager. I remember cycling across town on my bike to go to the library when I was 15. I've enjoyed, I think, most of all, the responsibility of opening up the library, closing it down, being able to help people get what they want. Because I took an early retirement and I didn't realise till I started at the library how much I missed that sense of responsibility. and respect, if you like, if you're doing a good job and other people say, oh, go and see Richard, that's very flattering. So I enjoy that. No, except how much I enjoy it and how much, if I didn't do it, I would miss this twice a week stint.
My name's Jeff Morehouse. I have a shift on a Thursday morning in the library on the counter, but I also help with events and one or two committees as well. Well, I knew about the library and what they were trying to do in the village with the hub, and I was retired and thought it would be a good thing to do. It helps me enormously. I think it's a very positive experience. Just working with sort of lots of nice people, meeting the public. It's been really good. I don't think there's anything particular that I've developed. I mean, but to be able to use experience and skills, definitely in the role. I would guess that the thing that's most surprising is how little things can make a big difference to people. Often people come in with problems which to us would be nothing, but to them are quite big, and we're able to sort of sort those out for them. And it's great to see that. It's a real great resource for the village, and people are sort of getting that vision, I think, and using it, and it's often people say what a buzz there is when they come in here, and I think that's what we want, really.
I'm Joy Greenwood. I've been volunteering for probably about 18 months now. I do 2 shifts. I do Tuesday afternoon, which is quiet, and Thursday morning, which is really busy. I also help edit the long Buckby Buzz that the Library Hub complete for the village, and do children's activities in the summer and Easter, and what else? Film night, and all the other things in between, the fundraising things. I retired, and I always knew I wanted to volunteer, but actually being retired for a few months kind of reinforced that I needed to get out and meet people again, because I'd worked in a busy environment and that's what I was missing the most. I've always brought my children to the library in years gone by, and libraries are really special places, and I love reading, so yeah, this was a good bet. Yeah, I think it breaks up my week, so I've got a purpose for my week, you know, because otherwise sometimes if you're not careful, retirement is just one day after another. But yeah, so I like that. I really enjoy meeting people and just learning new things. I mean, we learn something new every week, so that's what I enjoy most. Putting on craft sessions, you know, that gets easier as you go along. Don't make them too complicated. Editing as well, editing the buzz, that's good. And you know, and hearing from the different societies and groups in the village. Yeah, just meeting people. Well, yeah, I think the effort that it takes to keep the library going with donations and one thing and another is phenomenal, and the trustees do it so well. I've met an awful lot more people in the village. I mean, I've lived here for 30 years, but you kind of pass faces, but you don't meet them properly. So that's been surprising and really enjoyable. Yeah, I think so. I'm quite reserved, I think, and I get quite nervous about doing new things. But you know, I took the plunge, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, don't be nervous about joining. Everybody's lovely.
My name's Eileen Lynn, and I am a volunteer at the library. I help on a Tuesday morning with all the general running of the library during the day. Well, I finished work back in 2018 and I thought, what am I going to do? I didn't want to just sit at home and be a housekeeper or whatever. And I knew that the library were looking for new volunteers. So I popped in and signed up, and I've been doing it ever since. I think it's kept me in touch with the village, because it's very easy just to sort of be hibernating at home and only circulate with the people that you actually know. So it's quite nice to get out and meet new people, certainly of an older generation as well, now that I'm an older generation. So yeah, I think basically it's just helped me keep in touch with everybody and meet new people all the time. Probably keeping up with IT skills and things like that. But generally just learning about the library, how it works, the book genres. You wouldn't believe the amount that there are out there. And I just find it really, really interesting. I probably didn't realise how much I would actually enjoy it. And it just gives you a feeling of belonging and being part of something. I've always been a team player when I was at work, and I think to be part of a library team again, it's just helped carry on with that. So I enjoy that the most, and I think that gives me the most satisfaction. Really, I love working with my colleagues. I look forward to coming out on a Tuesday morning now, and if I can help at any other time of the week, I will try and put my name down.